Flying saucers now in the race. It was bound to happen sooner or later. And it's a UFO, government people. If you don't like that, well, you know what they say. Let's see, I thought there was a small one around here. Where'd it get to? Ooh, pretty lights. Istanbul, not Constantinople. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here, and we're concluding our Velocitron Speedia month with a look at a character that I knew I had to get the moment I saw him being announced for it. We are taking a look at Cosmos. Of course, part of my excitement for Cosmos' return is due to the fact that he is a Generation 1 character. There's his G1 counterpart. And to say that this one is a little bit more animated accurate is a slight understatement compared to his original. A little bit of history for those of you that haven't kept up with Cosmos. Cosmos' original figure came out in 1985. He was basically the first space vehicle for the Autobots. And for many of us, probably was the first one, especially if you were around in 85 to get him. He was also one of the first ones that was capable of flight. As in 1984, the Autobots did not have anybody that could fly. So 85 was a big year for the Autobots. We got a few flying characters. Cosmos' mission is to serve in reconnaissance and communications, which unfortunately is a rather boring job in some cases, as it usually has him flying out into outer space to try to intercept any communications, likely between the Decepticons and Cybertron, but probably also from any other alien worlds that he could pick up. Although Cosmos was known to occasionally have a sick sense of humor, as he would occasionally drop down onto Earth and go hover over somebody's backyard for a little bit, just to pull a harmless prank on the humans. That way it would give him a humorous story to tell when he got back to his buddies. Cosmos may have helped also orchestrate some of the things that happened in New Mexico all those years ago, but that's probably a little too old for him. But at any rate, let's take a look here at what Cosmos comes with. We'll start with the bonus piece, if I can get it to let go of his weapon. The added accessory that he includes is a flag. We got it as checkered on the one side, and it's solid white on the other side. So this is basically, it means that he's the flagger at the race. He only has two, so he has a white flag to start the race. I'm guessing that's what the white one's for. Either that or to surrender. And then he's got the checkered flag to finish the race. So, nice accessories. And of course, his flagpole also doubles as his gun, which is a nice, neat little accessory that he includes. Especially when you consider the fact that the Generation 1 version did not come with a gun. I'm glad it's not done up to look too sci-fi-like, but it still looks appropriate for a flying saucer. Now that we've looked at his accessories, let's take a look at Cosmos's articulation. He can turn his head from side to side. It does rock a bit in all directions, so it is on a bit of a ball joint. His arms can raise out about so far, and he can rotate only to that point, as there's a catch that blocks his arm. And again, he can go about that far, so it's almost a full rotation, but not entirely perfect. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a small bit of articulation at the bicep, so he does also have G.I. Joe battle grip. That's always nice. He can be twisted at his hips, so he's got some dance moves going. When we adjust the sides of his hip shield, he can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a good thigh cut in the middle of his leg. You can raise his leg up at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, he does have some good articulation going for him. Okay, to transform Cosmos, it's relatively simple, but he does come off a little complicated since he is an entirely new mold. We start here, we take his head, and we're going to rotate the piece it's attached to all the way around. So that hides his head. We'll come down here to his arms, and we're going to fold in his fists. Fold the fists in like that. And then we're going to straighten his arms. So we're going to bring them out to the sides like so. Then we're slowly going to rotate them backward so that they pop free at the shoulder and they fold into his back. Kind of like that. Now we're going to turn him around. We're going to pop this section free so it rolls out a bit. Fold out this section. I also want to warn you folks that this section right here, this does pop off very, very easily. But once you have that out, you can then rotate it so that it's now down here, like so. And then gently push in this yellow part until it gets in all the way, like so. And we're going to fold up his hip shields here as we get ready to turn the instructions over. So we're going to come down here to his feet. You're going to take the bits here on the back side and fold them out to the front. And then we're going to kind of wiggle his feet a bit so that they get to point downwards. And then once that's done, we can line them up and attach them together. Alrighty, we got our backside popped free here for some reason. Alrighty. Now once that's done, section of his legs here, right behind the green on his hip shield, should pop out. And it will fold backward. While we're doing that, we adjust the legs so that they'll fold inward and bring up for the front of the spacecraft. Now once that's done, fold down the hip shields because they will help lock the legs in place. Then once that's done, you can rotate the arms and line them up so they get attached. And then there you have it. Slip right out of my hands, just like they do for the government. Cosmos has become a UFO. I know they call them something else nowadays, but I'm an old school person. It's a UFO. Then, of course, you can take the gun and attach the flag to it if you want. It's probably best so you don't lose it. And then the gun can be plugged into one of the holes on the side for some extra weaponry. And then, of course, naturally, here is Cosmos's G1 form. Quite the shrimpy when compared to the original, compared to this modern toy. Now, back in the day, Cosmos was definitely a rather popular figure, and I'm hoping that he will find the same popularity today. Judging by how hard he is to find in many of the toy aisles, I'd say that is possible. It is quite possible. Cosmos is rather difficult to acquire. But of course, if you're a G1 fan, it's easy to see why. This is a considerably improved figure over his original toy. Plus, there hasn't been a new Cosmos figure in quite a while. He hasn't gone all this time without new figures, but it has been a while since we did see a Cosmos figure. So it is good to see that he has returned, and this new figure certainly does do justice to the original Generation 1 toy. At any rate, that's my review of the Velocitron version of Cosmos. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content that we feature here on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, next month here on the channel, we're going to go back to the studio line because I finally acquired enough 86 figures that we can take a quick look back at characters from Transformers the movie. So stick around for that, folks. This is Sparkster1701 saying I'll catch you all later.